Hello everyone, welcome back. So far we have built add functionality, list functionality. Now in this session we will implement the functionality to remove item from to-do list. So let's look into the details what we are going to do in this session. The first task is to create a function to remove a to-do item by ID. This involves writing a Python function that takes the unique identifier, ID, of a to-do item and removes it from the list. The function will handle the logic for identifying the correct item to delete based on the provided ID. The second task is to update the JSON file after removing an item. Since the to-do items are stored in a JSON file, this task involves modifying the contents of the JSON file to reflect the removal of the specified item. The function created in the first task will need to interact with this JSON file to update the list of to-do items accordingly. The third and final task is to update the CLI to include the remove command. This involves modifying the CLI setup, likely in the todo.py file, to recognize and handle the remove command. This means defining a new command and click that triggers the function created in the first task, allowing users to remove to-do items via the command line. Overall, this session is about enhancing the CLI with the capability to delete tasks from the to-do list, ensuring that users can manage their tasks effectively by removing items they no longer need. This functionality is a crucial part of the to-do application, as it allows users to keep their list up to date and organized. Let's jump into the Visual Studio Code to implement all these tasks with the help of our programming partner GitHub Copilot. So guys, we are into the Visual Studio Code. Now we are going to implement remove functionality by performing all these three tasks. So let me ask my programming partner with the steps. So I will write help me with the implementation steps for all these selected tasks. And it has returned me the steps. In the step 1 it is suggesting to create a new file remove.py in the commands directory. Implement a function to remove a to-do item by its ID. In the second step it is suggesting me to ensure the function updates the todos.json file after removing the specified item. And in the third step it is suggesting to import and add the remove command to the CLI in todo.py. So now let's perform all these suggested steps to implement the remove functionality. So let's select the commands folder and create a new file called remove.py file. Then next insert this code into the file. I will complete the implementation steps first, then I will explain this code to you. Once done, let's proceed to the todo.py file and update the code for remove command. I will delete this existing code and insert this code. We are done with implementation of the remove command. Now let's ask our programming partner help me with usage example to remove the item. It has given me this example. So let's try this to test our remove functionality, but before that let's go to the data folder and open todos.json file and see what to-do items we have. We have only one entry. Let's try to run remove command and see it is removing or not. So to remove, I will insert this command into the terminal, and we have only one item and it is the first item of the array index, so I will pass ID as 1. Currently I am not maintaining the ID for basic version of my app, as this course is for helping you to learn new approaches for doing the programming using Copilot. Anyways, let's press enter to execute it. And you will notice here the entry of one item is gone. So it means our app is working perfectly fine. Now let's proceed to the remove.py file and discuss implementation details. The provided code is a Python script designed to manage a to-do list stored in a JSON file. It uses the click library to create a command line interface, CLI, for removing to-do items by their ID. The script begins by importing the necessary modules, OS for interacting with the operating system, and click for creating the CLI. It also defines a constant to-do file which specifies the path to the JSON file where the to-do items are stored. The load_todos function checks if the to-do file exists. If it does, the function opens the file in read mode and loads the JSON data into a Python list using json.load. If the file does not exist, it returns an empty list, indicating that there are no to-do items. The save_todos function takes a list of to-do items as an argument and saves it to the to-do_ file. It ensures that the directory for the file exists by using os.makers with exist_ok equals true, which creates the directory if it does not already exist. The function then opens the file in write mode and writes the JSON data to it using json.dump, formatting the output with an indentation of 4 spaces for readability. The remove function is a CLI command defined using the click library. It takes a single argument, to_do_id, which is the ID of the to-do item to be removed. The function first loads the current list of to-do items using load_todos. It then checks if the provided to-do_id is valid, that is, greater than 0 and less than or equal to the number of to-do items. If the ID is valid, it removes the corresponding to-do item from the list using the pop method and saves the updated list back to the file using save_todos. It also prints a message indicating the removed task. If the ID is invalid, it prints an error message prompting the user to provide a valid to-do ID. Overall, this script provides a simple yet effective way to manage a to-do list through a command line interface, allowing users to remove items by their ID. Next, in the todos.py file, the only change is at line number 4 and line number 13. At line number 4, I have imported the remove command, and at line number 13, I incorporated remove command to CLI. Apart from these change, everything is same. So this is what I wanted to show you in this session. Guys, as I mentioned earlier, this course is all about new ways of doing the programming. All this programming style is based on prompt engineering techniques, which we are utilizing into pair programming with GitHub Copilot. If you want to learn about prompt engineering, I have exclusive course in my YouTube channel that you will look into. On this note, I am stopping over here. See you in the next session where we will implement the update command. The primary goal is to enable the functionality for updating tasks in the to-do list.